Good morning, Keep It 100 Podcast. You're all new. No, we're not new anymore. We're 6 months anniversary today. This is JR, your host, Keep It 100 Podcast. I am interviewing with Kiana Walker out of Glasgow, UK. We got someone that just joined us here, Loxy Technology. Thank you for joining us. We'll be starting in just a moment. Waiting for Kiana to join us, and we will be starting out. Going to have a great little 30-minute interview with she is a semi-pro pole competitor. Did a show not too long ago. It was like November or so of 2019, I think it is. I might be off by 1 month or so. But yeah, actually I posted that video, so we're just waiting for her to join us right now. We should have her coming up. And today we're going to also have, it's our 6-month anniversary, so we're going to get it popping. Yes. I just got back from the casino, 4 sevens. I had to kill some time before the interview, so not a bad day so far. Early morning. It's only, about 4:10 here in California, / Las Vegas. So it's going to be a great show today. But we also have coming up later on the show, we have DJ, oh God, we have some really cool DJs coming up. Oh, wait a minute, there she is. There we go. Let's get her set up on here. Give me 1 second so I can invite her in. Five, four, three, two, one. We should have her go on in just a second, guys, okay? And we're gonna have a great show coming up. All right. Good morning. Good morning, how are you?
Hello.
Good morning.
Hey.
Can you hear me?
How's it going?
All right. I know it's afternoon out there, right?
Yeah, it's noon.
Oh, it's noon. Okay.
It's just a little bit past midday.
Oh, okay. It's about 4:10 out here in California.
I know, you're insane. I love it. Do you sleep?
No, I try to. I try to, but I like to stay busy. I like to definitely stay busy. I want to thank you for coming in. Do me a favor. We're going to have a lot of viewers coming in, and this is going to also be on our YouTube channel later on today too.
Awesome. Is there a way to make it a little bit louder? I'm just having a little bit of trouble hearing you.
Okay, let me talk a little better for you. Okay.
Sorry, I'm not sure if that's my fault. But.
Okay, I will speak up. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, no, I hear you. It's just it's not as loud as I sometimes have to put my ear close.
Okay, I got a pretty big mouth, so I'll talk loud. Do me a favor and tell us who you are, where you come from, where you were born, and then I'll take it from there. Okay?
Okay, awesome. Well, I'm born and raised in Montreal, so I'm Canadian.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, so for many years I was just studying. I was studying in television and film and video, so I was very media orientated. And then only at the age of 20, I discovered pole dancing. I started to just take some classes just for fun. It was really recreational for me because I was just looking for something that was active and something that, was just different. I guess I was just bored of the gym, and I've just tried so many sports in my life, and I never stuck to any of them. There came a point where I even thought, like, wow, I'm really a quitter. Like, there's nothing that I ever really stick to. You know what I mean? But finally, when I found pole dancing, I just automatically fell in love. I knew from my first class that this was something that I really, really enjoyed. Okay. And I remember taking my first class and just being like, wow, I'm so bad at this right now, but I really want to get good. You know what I mean? So right. After that class, I kind of just knew that, it would just take some time, but I just stuck to it. It wasn't like as though I got good right away. You know what I mean? Like, it took many, many years, and I had lots of days where I was just so frustrated because I couldn't find my groove. I couldn't find the strength to do some things. And it could get very, very frustrating, but just always tell myself just to keep going back to the studio, just to keep on practicing. I just started to improve little by little, and now it's my career. Now I'm trying to do it I'm doing it now professionally in the sense that I compete, but I train people almost every single day. Online and also in person. So yeah, it's been quite the journey in the last 5 years.
Well, tell me this. I'm gonna ask you a few questions just to find out a little bit about you. So let's talk. Number one, let's talk about your older projects. So you discovered pole dancing, pole competitions and things of that nature. Just trying to stay busy in the gym.
Yeah.
Do something else. Do you have a gymnast background?
No, I don't have a gymnast background. I have, but I do have some past skills
Okay.
that have led me to being a little that led me to have a little bit more experience when it came to certain things such as flexibility, and such as just being able to use my power. So I did 2 years of cheerleading, and that really
Oh,
helped. So
okay.
cheerleading, there's definitely some foundations of cheerleading that can
Okay.
really align with pole dancing,
Okay.
such as like when you just have to always be engaged when you're
Mhm.
doing some things. You have to really be tight, and you have
Right.
to understand that I need to engage my entire body to do this. Well, in cheerleading, I was doing some things in my choreographies where I'd have to do like tumbling. And when you're
Okay.
doing tumbling and you're doing like flips, that requires really being engaged and having, your toes pointed and your knees in. So there are some facets of cheerleading that have really helped me with pole for sure. And
Okay.
before cheerleading, I actually did some synchronized swimming.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a lot.
Do you know
I
what
haven't.
synchronized swimming is? Have
Yes.
you?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm all around. I was a ball player, basketball player.
Nice. So is my
So
father.
yeah. So when it comes to cheerleaders, I know a lot about the cheerleaders and watching the practices and things of that nature. And it takes
Yeah.
a lot. It takes a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah.
And
But just to be clear, the cheerleading that I did, though, just so you know, I wasn't like doing it on the side of games. Like I wasn't on the sidelines. Like we did cheerleading as like competitions where it's just
wow.
focused on cheer.
Okay.
Like I don't know if you've seen like Bring It On, but like more like in that sense.
I'm a movie buff. I'm
Okay.
California. I seen Bring It On.
Okay, so like how Bring It On, they're not actually cheering on the sidelines, like they're the
Right.
main event. So that's the kind of cheerleading that I did. I didn't actually cheerlead for like a sports
Okay.
team.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's great. So let me ask
yeah,
this question. Number two question for you. Being what's your current project? Your current project right now is you're teaching online. You're teaching. Do you have your own gym? Do you have how you put that together?
yeah. So right now, no, I do not have my own studio. That is maybe something that I am considering to do in the
Okay.
future when maybe the financial times are a little bit easier. Because right
Right.
now, of course, in this global pandemic, it's just everything is just insane.
Okay.
So it's definitely not happening anytime soon, but it's something that I do think about. Maybe one day I'd like to have my own studio. But
Okay.
at the moment, what I'm really just focusing on is just improving. I just want to get better. I'd like to I just want to be able to build my clientele so much that like I literally I'm just so full. I'm just booked up. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Yes,
So
definitely.
yeah, exactly. So like I wouldn't say that I'm there yet, but my
Okay.
clientele is building and it's building nice and slowly. But it's not. I have just bigger dreams. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, guaranteed.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. We're celebrating. I want to thank you for joining us today too, because we're actually celebrating our 6 month anniversary. And
Yeah. Congratulations.
I'll tell you, I'm the type of person I love my background, sales and marketing and closer and all that kind of stuff. But I've done a lot of different things. This company, this podcast show came up because I lived in the Caribbean and Mexico for the last 10 years, and I've been
Nice.
back in the States for 3 years. Then I got recruited to go to Jamaica, to go live in Jamaica, and
Wow.
they spoiled me out there in January of this year, and then all of
Wow.
a sudden, as everything is going wonderful, I'm about to move back to the Caribbean and Mexico, where I was going to do that anyway, but I was going to do Jamaica and the Caribbean and Mexico because I wanted to get out of the States. I hadn't been here in a long time, and it was interesting because of COVID, 19, they kicked us out of there. We're
Mm.
running a beautiful resort in Jamaica. My work schedule was so easy. It was like a 7 in the morning or 7:30 in the morning till about 2 in the afternoon, and then I had the whole day free and
Yeah.
all the perks. But getting back to that, so when I got back to the United States, I met up with my nephew, and it's really odd. We had never been together in the same place for more than a day, you know. And he runs a company called Smart Computer Concepts, LA, New York, and also Las Vegas. So it's interesting. When we came together, I says, you know what? When times are bad, that's when you need to create. Let's create a business together. And he says, what do you want to do? I said, let's do a podcast. And
love that.
That's it. So we broke a lot of records with over 100,000 viewers in about 3 months and things of that nature.
100,000 viewers.
We did some amazing numbers, and we're still.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So now we have we're on about 14 platforms, and what we really do is we help you guys, help your fans or your clients find you now. So we're hooked up with movie directors. We're hooked up with American Music Academy. Everybody follows us, and I have a lot of friends in the business. But back to you.
Nice.
This is what happened.
Congratulations. That's a big deal.
Hey, well, you're part of the family now, so you're on the show. So you're going to be getting hit up by a lot of different people. You never know who's going to hit you up.
Oh, you're sweet. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So let me ask this question. So during COVID, how did you prepare yourself for COVID? Because no one was prepared for COVID.
Right. No one was prepared. But one thing I did learn was how to adapt. So I had never ever taught an online class my entire life. And then COVID happened, all the studios closed, and then after I was like, well, I guess I should buy a ring light because I need to go online. So thank God, just because of my communications degree, like I am quite tech savvy. So it wasn't the hardest. Yeah, well, it's a language, right? So thank God I'm pretty fluent when it comes to just doing tech stuff. So I just completely went online for about 5 to 6 months because our lockdown was quite long. I'm in Scotland, and our lockdown went from mid-March all the way up until beginning of September. So it was very long. And yeah, I just went completely online. I was teaching online all the time, and although it was a great alternative, it'll never replace the beauty of teaching in person. There's so many. Even for example, right now, you and I having this podcast, it's great that we can even do this because you're right now in Las Vegas, or are you in California? California. So you're in California right now.
Hitting to Vegas.
Yeah. I just wasn't sure because you just came from the casino and stuff, and I was like, I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
but yeah, so it is great that we're able to do it for sure. But of course, how much better would it be if we were just able to do this podcast in person? You know what I mean? So yeah, the more personal touch is just more valuable in my opinion. But I'm still very grateful for this alternative of being able to do things online. So definitely learning how to adapt and how to adapt quick. Because I went online with my fellow studios that I work with. We just switched to go online within the first week of being shut down, and none of us had ever done this before. So we were just learning on the fly, trying out different things, seeing what works, and we did okay. We were able to make some money online, and yeah, and now that studios, just so you know, studios here, they opened up for about a month, and then they closed now they're closing again tomorrow. Yeah, they're closing again tomorrow because there has been a rise and an increase in cases. In my opinion, I think it's very silly that because, in my opinion, I don't think any of the cases are coming from the fitness studios.
Right.
That's just because we are really taking all the precautions necessary. We are literally 2 meters apart. We all have our own space. It's so socially distant. And I just don't understand why the government thinks that it's okay just to shut us down again after just being open for a month. So it's quite upsetting. So tonight is my last night teaching in person, but they're shutting it down. Sorry, for 2 weeks. For 2 weeks. Okay.
Hey, you know what? We'll have to do something to help you out there. We'll have to maybe do a class where we view one of your classes and put it live for you to get more people for you.
Okay, that would be awesome.
Hey,
we'll be in touch. Yeah,
you're part of the family now. That's our job. The only way that you basically improve or become really successful, you got to help others first. And I believe in that. It's like the question you asked me when I sent you that message and said I just won 4 sevens and playing video poker while I was killing some time before I talked with you. and you're like, well, what are you going to treat yourself to? And I was like, no, I'm going to treat someone else. I got everything I need.
That's beautiful. That is so, yeah. You're definitely a very good person.
I try. I'm
Yeah.
trying to get my karma right. Hey, let me ask you now. So what do you have? What's your future plans? Number 3, basically. What do you foresee in the future for what you're doing?
I would love to compete more. I haven't done many competitions yet. I could probably count on one hand how many.
Let me ask you. Since we're talking about that, because we'll finish up with number 3, and you were going to hit that. But I seen that video that you had of the competition in Australia.
Yeah.
You kicked butt, man.
Thank you.
I know a lot of people in fitness because I pump iron and stuff like that and stay in shape. And
yeah, you look like you're fit.
Yeah, you have to be. You got to take care of yourself. I have a 4% chance of getting sick from anything. So the only way you can stop that is you got to stay in shape. Got to eat right and do all that kind of stuff. But I still go out and have fun too.
Yeah.
So
balance.
So how did you? Let me ask you. How did you get into that competition? I want to stop and talk about that for a minute because I know a lot of my friends are going to ask about that later on today.
Yeah.
I'm having a big party, so forget about everybody else. We'll be online partying, and I'm going back to the casino wherever I can go and have some fun. But,
lovely.
Yeah. So how did you get prepared for that competition?
Yeah. So preparing for a competition, you generally start around 3 months before the competition. Well, before the day of the competition. Like I like to give myself 3 months. Okay. So you firstly just like come up with a theme. Okay. So like a theme is kind of just like, a story that you kind of want to convey through your performance. Okay. And I, for some reason, was just like, I want to be a post-apocalyptic warrior. Okay. That's just me and my wild imagination.
I love it.
So I was like, okay, I'm going to do that. And then after I heard this song, and it was called Legendary, it's by Welshly Arms. But anyways, that song, I was just like, that song is so badass, and I love the beat. And I was just like, I really want to do it to that song. So I had a song, I had a theme, and then I just had to really bring it to life. So luckily, I was working with a woman who had her own costume company. So I just met up with her. I told her exactly what I wanted. She sent me drafts of her work, and we were just kind of working together of what we want the costume to look like. So we designed the costume pretty much together. But I gave her some freedom because I know that she's so good. Then I choreographed the routine myself with the help of my trainer and mentor, Amy. And then, I was just training like every single day. I of course have rest days, but I went so hard because that was also going to be my last competition in Australia because I was living in Australia at the time. So I knew that was going to be my final competition in Australia. So I was like, I want to leave on a high. I want to leave with a bang. So for me, imagine, for example, you do a terrible job and then you have to leave the country, that's like your legacy that you left. So for me, it meant a lot. So I just really, I trained, and then I did pretty well. I ended up placing 3rd in my category.
Wow! So, congratulations.
Yeah, and it was a national competition, so it was out of all of Australia.
Wow.
So I came 3rd, and that was now my last competition because it was in November of last year, and then COVID happened, so I haven't competed since. So I'm even more happy of how hard I trained because it's like the last competition I've had in a year now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So future projects that you're working on, where do you see yourself, or what would you really like to concentrate on? How are you going to set that up?
Yeah, so definitely competing. I want to compete a lot because I want to get to a point where I'm able to travel to different countries and teach workshops. Okay. And in order to usually get those types of opportunities, you do have to be well known or well respected in the community. People have to know you, and students have to know you because if they don't know you, they're not going to really book with you. Why are they going to book with you over anyone else? You know what I mean? So you do need to train a lot. You need to compete or perform a lot. Of course, you need to, maintain with posting content and stuff like that, and just, connecting with people as much as possible and networking. So I do want to get to a point where I can travel and teach. because I love traveling and I love teaching. So why not combine those two passions together? And then maybe one day when I'm feeling more settled, I also would like to have my own studio, but that's like for me way down the line. I'm not really thinking about that at the moment. Right now, I'm really just thinking about like getting through this year with a sane mind. Like, I'm not like, to be honest, I'm just like, let's just take it day by day, week by week. Let's just keep on taking care of my mental health, because like I was starting to really struggle during the lockdown, the last lockdown. Towards the end, it got really, really hard for me mentally, just because I just moved to Scotland, by the way. I just moved to the UK. So when you're moving to a new place during this time, during a pandemic, it's really hard on the soul. So I'm right now,
I'm very connected with the universe. So, tattoos and all that kind of stuff. I understand exactly. That's why I was in the Caribbean, Mexico. I needed to be in the jungles, and I needed to see different things. And I run in the mountains right now every day. Just to stay grounded. And you need to get away.
Where do you run?
It's up in the mountains near Palm Springs, California.
Oh my gosh, I love Palm Springs. I've been there. Yeah.
It's interesting how I got back over here. But I'm on my way to Las Vegas, and I'm going to live part-time in Las Vegas and part-time back in the Caribbean of Mexico.
Sounds like the dream, right? All the sun.
Yeah, if you know what you want, you got to do it,
Good for you.
So it's kind of interesting how this happened, and I just wanted to make sure that when pandemic hit, I wasn't just thinking about myself. I was thinking about all my friends that were in entertainment, movies, or musicians, and I thought to myself, what can I do, not just for myself, because a lot of people are going to get lost in the pandemic.
Yeah.
And this is a time where you have to keep your head up and be able to be seen. So that's why this business was created by my nephew and I, my business partner. And it's done a lot. So like I was telling you, you're going to probably get a lot of people hitting you up, asking you questions about your company and things like that. And you'll probably have people wanting to learn from you also. Mainly, I just want to see people do well. So the future, let me ask this question. Do you think that you'd be interested in maybe doing commercials? Because in that business, you have a lot.
Well, hey, like, if the opportunity arises and it's for the right brand and it's giving the right message, then I'm always all for it. But it always depends on the message that they're conveying, the brand. Like, is it, like, let's just say, for example, I know there's a really, really good pole dancer. She's amazing. Her name is Ashley Fox, and she's based in the States. Okay. And I know that she was once part of a Calvin Klein commercial, but she was doing pole in the Calvin Klein commercial, which was, like, unbelievable because of course, that like it's a sport or an art form that's been a little bit, very stigmatized in the past, and having a big name like Calvin Klein integrating pole in their advertisement, that's a huge deal. So if let's just say there's like some big brands that reach out and they want to get like have me in their commercial doing some pole, as long as it's sending the right message, or a message that I agree with, and if it's a brand that I'm kind of in tune with, then yeah, I'm all for it.
Or I always think big. I always think when I talk to someone, I'm kind of like a muse. I can like look at someone, meet someone in a couple minutes. I can kind of tell them where they should be at. Last year, this time, I was helping a friend get a book wrote, which she finished in one day and got published.
Wow.
Her first book. So I was doing that, and it was like she had a dream, talk to me. And I was like, write it. That's the kind of person I am. But yeah, either that or maybe some of the record label owners that I know that have labels, when they're shooting videos and stuff like that, they're always looking for something different, when it comes to video. So you might get hit up on that too. So
that would be cool.
As long as as long as it's something that you agree to. But there's a lot of different opportunities.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Agreed.
Yeah, so I want to thank you for coming in, because I know we wanted to keep it a little short interview with you. But before we break and go away from here, how do people find you? Give us your information, and also type it on the bottom there for them too.
Yeah, definitely.
How do they find you?
So, okay, at the moment, what I'm most active on is Instagram, just because it's the main platform that I'm using at the moment. However, my sister is a web designer, and she's going to be building me a website soon. I
Oh,
know.
really?
I'm so lucky. I'm so lucky. So when that happens, I'll definitely send it to you
Yes,
when she's done. But we actually are meeting next week online because she actually lives in Africa. But
oh, wow.
she's living in Ghana in Tamale. Anyways, that's a whole other story. But my sister's very cool. She's a very cool girl, and she's gonna be making me a website. So when it's ready, I will send it to you. But
Okay.
yeah, should I just leave my handle because
Yeah,
that's what I use?
do all that, and then also tell them verbally after you leave all that information.
Yeah, so I'll just write it now.
Yeah. Take your time.
So Instagram is at Kiana Walker, but I'm pretty sure they can just see that since we're on Instagram right now.
Okay.
And then after, I'll also just put my Facebook page. So my stage name is Miss K Tricks.
Yeah, I see
So
that. Okay.
yeah, so it's kind of like it happened because my friend used to call me K Tricks when
I was going to ask you about that. I was going to ask you how you got that name.
yeah, I just wrote it down, by the way. But
Okay.
my friend used to call me K-Trix for no reason. It had nothing to do with pole, and it had nothing to do with anything. He just thought it was a cool nickname. So every time he'd see me, he'd be like, "Yo, what's up, K-Trix?" And like, I found it funny. And then one day when I was actually looking for a stage name, I was just like, I kind of like my nickname K-Trix. Maybe I should just add a miss before it. And that's how I came up with the name. But yeah, it's cool.
Should be coming right back. We just froze for a second. Hold on, guys. Stay with us. We froze for just a moment.
Hello? Sorry.
Yeah, we froze for just a moment. We're good.
It's okay. It's okay.
Good.
So yeah. I think, I'm not sure when it froze, but basically, long story short, I decided to keep K-Tricks because we actually do tricks in pole. Like, they're actually called pole tricks.
Oh,
so
okay.
I was like, oh, let me just take that nickname, make it my stage name. Anyways, so that's it.
Perfect. Hey, it's a pleasure talking with you.
Thank you so much.
I want to thank you for coming in. I'm going to have we'll have this uploaded to our YouTube later on, but right now, if anyone wants to watch, it's going to be on Instagram, and I'll make sure I post all that kind of stuff. I made sure that we're friends on Facebook also, and I'm following you now. And I think you have my Facebook page too. I put a lot of stuff on my Facebook page. That's J.R. Robertson on Facebook, and it's with the baby with the glasses and the headphones for people looking that one up. But yeah, I want to thank you, Kiana, for coming in this morning. Or this afternoon for you, morning for us.
Thanks for staying up for me. That's really nice.
Hey, you know what? In about 4 or 5 hours, I got 2 DJ watch parties coming up. Got an amazing DJ coming from out of Germany. And
love that.
Another one coming out of a lot of my friends are famous DJs out there, and then DJs coming up worldwide. But then my other DJs coming up out of Mexico. So. Stay with us. You'll see a lot of different interesting things. And then I got a mini concert on Tuesday from a lady in Shanghai, China. So we got a lot of interesting stuff. So now you're part of the family. People will be watching you a whole bunch. We'll see you bloom also. Wishing you the best, and thank you for joining me this morning.
Thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it.
Okay, we appreciate you too. Okay,
and stay safe.
You stay in contact. Okay, thank you for coming.
Will do. Okay, will do. All right. Bye.
Bye-bye, sweet.